Ultimate Marvel by Jonathan Hickman Omnibus review. This is kind of interesting, as I feel like you almost want to read this to read the Ultimate Spider-Man stuff that's coming out now. Because they've hinted in Ultimate Spider-Man that the Maker, who's the primary villain of this run, is the one who's kind of controlling this new Ultimate reality. So it kind of ties into it. This is a pretty short omnibus, and it's pretty easy to read as a consequence, pretty quick to read as a consequence. And I don't know, I'm in a minority. I don't love Hickman's writing all that much. I think it's kind of slow, to be honest, and it's kind of a little disjointed. I get why it's popular. It's got some dark tones and it's got some cool concept, really good world building. I'd say that Hickman's a good world builder, but he's not necessarily a good writer. I don't think his execution's all that great. And some interesting, you got Brian Hitch on here on some of the art. You got Carlos Pacheco, some heavy hitters through the Ultimate Comics. And at the beginning, it's Ultimate Thor, then Ultimate Fallout. These are side stories. They're all like side stories in Ultimate Fallout, not the main event. You get Ultimate Comics Hawkeye, and then Ultimate Comics Ultimates. And so Ultimate Thor, the concept of Thor is he's a like crazy person, maybe, and maybe not. And so you get all this Asgard background stuff while Thor's sitting in like an asylum with S.H.I.E.L.D., and he kind of realizes he is actually the Thunder God over this 4 issues, and then joins the Ultimates. It's like a background story. So if you didn't, you really need, I'd say, you really need to read Mark Millar's Ultimates in order to enjoy it, kind of. It's kind of, this all spins out of that. It's like you need to read that, then you need to read this, then you need to read the new Ultimate Spider-Man. And this is why comics kind of have a problem these days, because they don't really stand alone all that well. A little too much. They involve the Hulk again, which was the main Ultimates plot from the first one. And once he kind of believes he's the god, that's kind of how it ends. And so these are all, like the Ultimate Fallout ones are all quick vignettes. They're just character vignettes that are at the back of that. And so, is it the best stuff? It kind of ties in. And then you get into Ultimate Hawkeye. Hawkeye's working for S.H.I.E.L.D., and he is like kind of like invading this Asian country, which they've made a virus that ends mutants, and then at the same time, they've figured out how to give everybody their superpowers, and so they're trying to kind of take them down, bring them down to size over that, and then it gets into that kind of ties into the Ultimates once it hangs out, and once we get into the Ultimates, there's this like bubble city being built, and it's scaring everybody. And again, like the storytelling is just kind of a little disjointed in this. So it's like, I feel like he just didn't pace it quite right. I know this is a very popular run, and I'm going to get savage for this, but I feel like the pacing could have been a little more straightforward. Like it's like he's trying too hard to be a little edgy on this. The Ultimates then get like the U.S. tries to take down the Ultimates. The Ultimates, then the Reed Richards, who's the Maker, ends up who's like gone crazy, is rebuilding the world in his reality in his own image, kind of thing. And in the city that keeps expanding and expanding, scaring everybody, DC attacks it, and so he actually blows up DC. And then the Ultimates come up with a scheme to use Reed Richards' ego against him over 12 issues. And so it's a little drawn out, and at the same time, a lot happens. This is some weird mid-2000s coloring in here. And it's okay. I'd say it's pretty good. So overall, pretty good stuff, but the Maker gets stopped. That city gets stopped, and they end up using a virus. They turn the city against him, basically, which is his own AI, and that's how they solve the situation. And that kind of spirals into the new Ultimate Spider-Man stuff. So because there's a new universe where there's no heroes or anything like that, and it spawns out of there. They tie in Ultimate Hawkeye by having that power city then help the Ultimates by attacking Reed Richards and his city after a while. The Maker, I should say. Shouldn't just call him Reed. He's an alternate Reed Richards, right? And it's okay. It's a quick read. The world building's pretty good, but I really think the pacing, the execution is kind of not so great on this stuff. The art's pretty decent, so I call this like a 7.5 out of 10. All right, leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Hit the like and subscribe button. We'll be back soon.